Hi, my name is Natalie, and if you are a believer of Christ, I just want to ask you, what are you doing in your daily life to spread the gospel? Because after the whole Charlie Kirk situation, I'm kind of like, I need to be more bold in my faith. Like, I want to be like, my favorite person ever to watch on YouTube is Cliff Knetchell and Bryce Crawford. I want to be like them. And then there's also like all these other like girl Christian people online I watch. I feel bad because I don't know like any of their names. I only know the Girls Gone Bible and Saved Not Soft, like those podcasts. I know those names, but I don't know the names of the girls. And there's like multiple girls. Like there's like at least 5 or 6 of them that I watch on like YouTube and stuff. And all of them, they're so bold in their faith, and it's like they are spreading the gospel daily to hundreds of thousands of people. And yes, they're making a difference, but as believers, we can make a difference too every day if we would just spread the gospel. Like, it doesn't need to be some magnificent thing where hundreds of thousands of people are watching. It just needs to be like a couple people. I really like to also watch Sadie Robinson, yeah, from Duck Dynasty. Her dad's part of that. I love listening to these people podcast, like their podcasts and their videos and stuff, because the way they spread the gospel is so cool. And it's like, I want to do that, but then God reminds me, like, Natalie, you could do that with your classmates. Like, literally, a mustard seed, God can use a mustard seed of faith to grow anything. Like, I have a Bible study at my school that started with an idea God gave me, and then I gave that idea to God, and he helped me create like a Bible study. He just, if you haven't watched my video on how I started a Bible study at my high school, go watch it, because it literally shows how God was able to turn this little imagination into something humongous, like, for his glory. Like, you don't know what you spreading the gospel at school or at work or whatever, if you're allowed, like, because I know some places like you're not allowed to speak religion at all, but you don't know what that little bit of like gospel that you're sharing, I was gonna say faith that you're sharing, but that little bit can literally change like someone's life. Like this kid Benny, I don't know if it was like 8th grade Benny, no, for sure it was freshman year, before like I was truly for God. Like, I remember him talking about God and reading his Bible. I even remember, in like 8th grade, him talking about God in the hallways a couple times, and I was like, oh, this kid's like likes God, because we used to do crazy. Me and this kid Benny used to do catechism together, and now in high school we both are Christians and we're both on fire for God. It's like pretty crazy how the people in your life, like, God can work in mysterious ways for both of y'all. But anyways, like, him spreading the gospel, in a way, it was planting seeds in my life, because like I always knew in the back of my head, hey, this guy likes God, like this guy's on fire for God, or at least he loves God, right? So you just never know, because I have a friend right now, and I'm always hearing the gospel, and she had told me, Natalie, feels like you're forcing religion, even though like I never tell her, hey, you have to do this and this. I always say, hey, I do this and this and this because of God, and this is how God saved me, and all this stuff. Like, I'm always talking about God, but I'm never trying to force it on her and stuff. I just love to talk about Jesus. Genuinely, I just love to talk about God. And the other day she texted me, she's like, hey, Natalie, when is your Bible study? I want to start going. And I was like, you never know, you planting seeds, what God is going to do. I literally just read the other day with my boyfriend, because we were doing a Bible study, I told God, where do you want me to read? And then he immediately told me like these 3 different places in the Bible to read. Like, immediately off the bat he told me to read, and as I was reading one of them, one of the verses was about how we plant the seed, but God does the work. God is the one who makes it grow. And my boyfriend was like, Natalie, this verse definitely was for you, because the week prior to that, I was crying to my boyfriend about how I've been planting seeds for people, and it feels like maybe they'll come closer to God and then they leave immediately, or like they just won't follow God. And I planted all these seeds, and I was crying to my boyfriend, like, why aren't these people like, they just don't want to follow God, and I feel like I can't do anything to help them get closer to God. And my boyfriend, I remember when I was crying on the phone, he was telling me, Natalie, like, that's not your job. It's God's gonna work on it. Like, it's not your job to make them follow Christ. Like, it's your job to plant the seeds. And the Bible verse literally was talking about it. So if you're a believer, just literally, what are you doing? Like, how are you spreading the gospel? And you're spreading the gospel doesn't have to be saying like words, like the gospel words, like what it says in the gospel. You could be spreading the gospel by love, joy, kindness, like being kind to one another, living how Jesus was. Jesus was kind to people. Like, he was loving, okay? He, like, you know, flipping the tables in the temple, all that stuff is like, he was angry. But like, Jesus was compassionate. He had empathy for others. He loved everyone. He literally says to first love God with all your heart, and then love your neighbor as you love yourself. Your neighbor is everyone. Everyone is your neighbor, okay? So as believers, we need to love everyone. That's how we can spread the gospel, by just loving others, by serving one another. That is spreading the gospel. But yeah, if you're a believer of God, what are you doing in your daily life to spread the gospel? And also, you may be the only Bible people read. Are you representing Christ? Are you representing the world? Or are you living for God, or are you living for the world? Because some people, they care too much about what man thinks instead of what God thinks. We're called to be set apart. Yes, we're going to fall short of the glory of God every day. I fall short a lot of the times, but I'm trying my best. I really just want to be a good disciple. I want to spread the gospel and share the good news to people who actually want to listen, who have ears to hear. But, you know, it's going to be hard sometimes because I don't have a big platform or anything. But yeah, what are you doing to share the gospel if you're a believer? Like, I don't know. And maybe doing that is just sharing it with your friend. Like, I literally, for like, ever since I found God, because my friend has been there since I found God, this one girl. I've been talking about God this whole time, since the moment I found God to now. And now, in this moment, she now wants to start going to Bible studies. And it's been like 2.5 years. So that seed took a while for God to, you know, do his thing. But yeah, God, you sharing the gospel can change someone's life and you don't even know it. That's why I think every day we should try to share the gospel to someone, which is hard for me too. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard for me to share the gospel to people who don't want to hear it. Like, I have a Jesus t-shirt on right now, and I love wearing my shirts. Like, if I wear a t-shirt, I like it to have a Jesus print, like something gospel related. So I'm a walking billboard for Christ. And it does start conversations with my teachers. They'll ask about it, or a classmate will ask about it, or somehow they'll talk about my shirt, either in a negative or positive way. It depends on the person. And it just makes a conversation starter about Christ. Like, by wearing something that represents Christ, it's a conversation starter. Like, literally, I have these 2 bracelets on, and today my friend, she was like, wanted to talk to the teacher, and she was anxious, and I literally I was like, girl, look at what my bracelet says. And I was showing her, and I was like, this is not even the whole Bible verse of Joshua 1:9. And then I said the whole Bible verse to her, and she's like, oh, okay, fine, I'll go talk to the teacher. And then she went and talked to the teacher. Like, you never know. You just never know, like, how spreading the gospel can change someone's life. And I don't know, you just never know. You never know. Okay, that's just all I had to say.